Hello and welcome to the Legacy Crusaders YouTube channel. This is Benji, and today I'm joined by my brother, Jordan. Say what up, Jordan.
What up?
So, if you clicked on this video, you're interested in seeing either a Karakuri deck or a Karakuri combo, but what we're going to be showing you is a synchro-based deck that goes into TG Hyper Library and using Karakuris draws, what, 8 to 9 cards? Makes a minimum of a True King of all Calamities and a Borreload Savage Dragon, and depending on how you build the deck, you can do much, much more. Is that right, Jordan?
That's pretty much it. That's the bare minimum.
All right, cool. So we're going to show you the bare bones combo using a deck that consists of only the required cards plus all Cyframe drivers. Here we go. All right, so this is full combo. So as long as you can get the Halqifibrax, you have full combo. So the rest of the deck is just the combo requirements plus the Despot 03. It's also only playing the required extra deck cards plus one extra card just to show you how you get an extra card out of it, but I don't even think we need to summon it. It's just a pseudo requirement. So Jordan, since it's your combo, I want you to tell me what to do so I can act as the audience and ask the questions that they might ask about what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Alright, summon 03, special 01 from the deck.
And this doesn't have to be 03. It can be literally any card that gets you to a Halqifibrax with 1 or 2 cards, right?
Yes, this technically, you're not going to need this Despot 01 in the grave. You'll need one from Halqifibrax. You could go into Halqifibrax now.
Okay, there's actually nothing bonus we can do by having the extra 01, right? Other than maybe protecting it from a DD Crow or something?
Yeah, and chain blocking from Skullmeister and, you know.
Alright, so there is viability to playing the 03 to get the extra 01, but it's unnecessary.
Yeah, you bring out the 01.
And if you draw the 01 and your deck only plays 1/01, you can summon any of the duplicate copies of the Karakuris because you still need a machine.
Particularly the 2-star. The 2-star would be ideal.
So there are duplicate copies of the certain Karakuris because if you draw them, the combo doesn't work. We are playing a 60-card deck. You can play it however you want. We're just trying to make sure that you're aware that if you play the duplicates and you draw parts of it, you can still keep playing. Specifically the 01, it's already in the graveyard. You do need to summon a machine for Auroradon. The 02, you're gonna summon that immediately. You won't be able to draw a card before that. So this is the only one for absolute certain that you won't need an extra copy of, assuming you didn't draw it already. All right, so 01.
Now you can make a Auroradon. And you're going to bring back the 01 from the graveyard.
Okay. And we can bring back the second one. It's not relevant here, so I guess we'll purposely not bring it back.
Yeah. Now, this is where the combo gets not obvious. You make your first Karakuri Beret, the 7-star.
In some builds, it does matter that you keep the link zones open for Auroradon.
Yeah, if you're playing like World Legacy Succession or something. But not really. You're going to bring out 2-star.
So this is Shinkuru, or he is a barrel, so the barrel.
Yeah, now you're going to use Auroradon. You're going to only leave the barrel on the board.
So we're going to tribute the beret and the token, and we're going to have a full 6 monster card zone, none of which are negates, which is the weakness of this deck.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Back when O-Line wasn't banned, there were ways to do this while having a negate up on the board, which it doesn't have now currently, but I'm going to explore other options and see if we could find a way to make something happen. Anyhow, now you're going to go into Hyper Librarian.
Yeah, at this point we're playing a deck full of drivers, but normally you would build your deck to either bait hand traps before you get to this point in the combo, or take your opponent's hand traps out of their hands before you get to the combo so you can continue. Alright, so you said make a TG Hyper Librarian?
Yes.
Okay, using level 2 and one of the level 3s, which makes Coltwing level 7.
Now you're going to go into Burrito with the Cult Wing and the Despot 01.
Okay.
And you're going to bring out the dog after you, obviously, chainlink 1 Hyper Librarian always, and chainlink 2 draw. So the dog you also don't want in opening hand.
We drew a Cult Wing, which is the only reason that there's a second copy in here, because if you draw the Cult Wing, you can't do the combo. but for
Yeah, the
most part, we'll
combo's
be
totally
drawing.
turned off.
We'll be drawing drivers for the most part throughout this combo. So that's your first draw one. And if
Okay.
all right, continue.
Now you make your second beret. This time he gets to draw a card. From here on, you're gonna bring out only the level 1s under one condition. You don't draw into one of the level 1s. You draw into one of the level 1s, yes, because the level 3 actually gives you an additional normal summon of the Karakuri. So now you're gonna make Burrito again with the beret.
So we're plus 2 cards in hand right now. Beret.
Oh, they'll see how plus we are at the end of this. Burrito.
There is a going second option we should mention here, right?
The going second option would be you use Beret right now to shift somebody to defense to get your draw. Okay, now you can make Burrito again.
Was that even a play worth doing going first?
No, definitely unnecessary going first. But I mean, there could be reasons in case, like maybe they DD Crow your frog right now. You'll get another one.
Because odds are they should Nibiru you before when you get to the Hyper Librarian at latest, right?
Oh yeah, once you see a Hyper Librarian, if they can't stop you, it doesn't. They lost pretty much. So now you can make 9-star with the Burrito that already drew.
Maybe we should do the spin now.
Okay, right? Well, you wanted to see the go second version, so let's just do it. It makes no difference.
Okay, but normally you would draw at this point.
Yeah, normally you wouldn't have done the shift. Wait till you have a level 9 so you could shift and get that draw. Yeah, you'd normally draw 2 on going first or going second. You would have made the level 9 and done the shift so you could banish a card and draw. The level 9 banishes a card.
So Barebu would have been on the field to do the banish.
Exactly. Level 1 again. You make your next level 9. Hopefully we draw into a driver or something really good like that.
There is a scenario where you would actually summon Croc, right?
There are, but a lot of those scenarios have to do with whatever deck you're playing, because this is an all-Cyframe driver deck. Not really one that you should bring out the 3-star. And this is your Borreload Savage and your Calamities. And your draw of many.
Into another level 1 tuner, we would make the Croc for an extra draw, I guess?
There's multiple scenarios where you can make the Croc. Basically, if you don't need to pull another body from the deck, let's say you drew all your level 3s, so you're not going to be able to go into Borreload Savage anyway. You don't need to bring anything out from the deck. You may as well draw an extra card.
Okay, so if you brick this card, then you might as well draw a card off of
that's the simple, most obvious scenario. But there's other scenarios depending on the deck you're using. So you just got to pay a little bit of attention to what you're using. I've used the Croc to, like in a version with Lost World, to pop a token and protect it with Lost World, to continue going off, like random stuff like that. So this is the bare bones.
We go to end phase, discard a bunch of cards we drew. We drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. I thought we drew 8 cards normally. Did I mess something up?
No, it's 7. It's just the old combo. Maybe we used Crocosaur, but we needed to draw into some kind of Monster Reborn or a level 1 tuner. So this combo's a lot better. You don't need to draw into anything. You already have it.
All right. On our opponent's turn, we Calamities, calling whatever. Then on our turn, we go to attack and we summon anything, and then we pop their card with Auroradon and attack for game, right?
Pretty much. I mean, or whatever you need to do at that point, depending what they have and what you have. But yeah, you've got over 8K on board.
I hope you guys enjoyed this draw 7 or 8 combo if you bother to use the Croc, plus Calamities, plus Savage using the Karakuri deck. We'll show you the requirements now, and then we'll show you the additional deck options you have to avoid getting hand trapped and just losing the game instantly, because you can't really establish a negate before doing the combo. All right, so these are the requirements for the combo. There are a couple things here. It's duplicates, but they're not technically required to be duplicates, right? Like this can be, these can be not played in the deck if you were living dangerously, I guess.
Yeah, if you're living on the edge, that's all you need.
All right, so if you want to play a 60 card deck and you draw 0 of your duplicates, this would be an acceptable possibility. Otherwise,
You could even draw the level 1. If you draw into the level 1, but only one. Then when you bring the level 3 out, you just bring them out earlier. Your normal level 1, so.
okay. But everything else in your deck can just be built to make the combo better, or alternatives for making more negates or different negates, drawing counter traps, all kinds of other stuff. 1 card starters that work if you don't get to fiber, extenders, and ways to deal with hand traps. All right, so let's show the audience one of your builds and why it looks so weird. This build looks weird. Would you like to explain what's going on here before we demonstrate a combo?
Why the cards are in the deck. Okay, so the perks of this build are you could potentially pull 3 from hand. Granted, 1 will come back off Minstrel, but Minstrel will... Basically, it's supposed to be able to see hand traps before they're used in a lot of cases, and in other cases, it has some synergy, like the Ancient Warriors could get you into Gallant Granite, which could give you the option of grabbing Zefra, or if you still can't make Halqifibrax without it, you could grab Adamantipator Researcher. That gives you some flexibility. Also, he triggers Dragoons, which is more synergy. So they kind of go together there. And then it's got some other nice features, like the Gizmek is a one of. It's really just there so that if you do go the Diva route and you wind up Gamma Sealing them at the end, you could summon the Gizmek, make Dingirsu, and you could equip one of your banished little level 1 Karakuris. So that's pretty cool. The Ancient Warrior package also gives you some going second strength because you could bounce an opponent's card when the wind guy is summoned by Sunmu. His own effect, actually. Then Sunmu will trigger to bounce one of their cards. The Zefra combo, the Zefra cards are always, their benefit is the 2 counter traps and the Zefra War, which are just really amazing because as much as you could do with Calamities and Borreload Savage, if they have ways to stop it, it's really disappointing. So the counter traps are typically unstoppable. I mean, like, they could super poly you, I guess. So, like, I don't want to say they're unstoppable, but, like, they're damn near close.
Well, there are versions of the deck you play that are actually immune to Super Poly because you just you play Secret
You
Village.
could run Secret Village, yeah. I'm trying to figure out every way to be immune to everything. Not that easy. Another good advantage is the Magna Reverses. They're really good because they could, like, bring back a level 9 Karakuri after you detach for Calamities to banish an opponent's card, or the main reason that I wanted to run them is that if Auroradon gets stopped by like a Veiler or something, you could reborn your Halqifibrax and go into your second Auroradon.
Auroradon's summon of a token is not a once per turn. All right, cool. Let's run a combo and show people the benefits that they get out of this.
Sure.
We technically bricked the combo because we opened the one, this guy, right?
Yeah, this is actually a very unfortunate brick. The 1 of in 60. So I'd try another hand.
Okay, well that's rare. All right, so this doesn't look like combo to me, but it looks like we can at least demonstrate the Zefra part of the deck.
You can combo with this.
Oh, how do we combo with this?
You're going to have to play Zefrath. You could send Zefra. Now you play Providence, add Oracle, add Zefraxi. Then you're going to play the Zefraxi. You're going to pen summon Zefranyu. Now you're going to add Zefra Divine Strike. So that means already that you're going to have Borreload Savage, Calamities, and Divine Strike.
Oh, I see. We can just normal summon one of the tuners and just do full combo?
Yeah, I would normal summon the dog for sure, because the minstrel you could draw and it could be live and you could make use of it potentially. Like when you draw water, yeah, you make how?
So at this point we have full combo plus Divine Strike, and everything is going to be the same thing we did a minute ago, right?
Yeah, I don't know that I run other extenders to add on top of it. Some versions you might somehow be able to get into Ultimate Conductor Tyranno or ABC Buster Dragon or something, but those are some spoilers. But this version I don't believe has anything like that. It's mainly for the counter traps.
Alright, so I'm going to try and run through the combo itself as fast as humanly possible. While you mentioned some of the things we can draw that we want to draw in this particular case.
Well, you'd like to draw Zephyr War.
Oh, I definitely screwed that up. Whoops. Yeah, I was supposed to go for the barrel, so at this point, we would want to draw what? Zephyr War?
Zephyr War because you had the Pendulum summon early, so you're not going to just get a free search into it. You'd like to draw, I believe I have droplets in this deck. There's nothing else in particular. Gizmek would be nice. The more you really need,
Magnet Reverse,
counter
maybe?
trap. What card? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Magnet
I
Reverse.
always said
would be a
Magnet
good one.
Reverse. Maybe Reborn. Alright, so I screwed up the combo, but generally we were going to have Savage, Savage Calamities, plus Zephyr Divine Strike minimum, potentially Zephyr War. So let's go back to the deck list.
Potentially Zephyr War or Droplet or Magnet Reverse, which would get you a Banish and a Reborn of a 3,000 attack body. Or
So guaranteed game.
Yeah, basically.
Alright, and because this deck plays the Gizmek Orochi, we actually can also summon at the end of the combo Mooling Glacia, take 2 cards out of their hand. Top, we can draw into the Gizmek or a Magnet Reverse, and overlay for a Dingirsu to protect our board.
Yeah.
Let's try and run the combo one more time, because I do think this is... We are suspecting that this is like the best version, right?
No, this is one of my newer versions. So I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's good. Definitely good.
This is full combo, right?
This full combo, yeah.
I want to open, like, specifically something different to demonstrate something for the audience.
Okay.
Well, this does Neptibus get us to Mooling Glacia?
Neptibus does not get you the Mooling Glacia. It has to be Diva, for the Mooling Glacia.
Alright.
If you want, you could do the combo with just Diva, and you could make your starting hand only Diva. Granted, you need to have your opponent needs to have a hand. So we wouldn't be able to show it unless your opponent has a hand anyway.
I'll turn it on.
Give yourself Diva and give them Diva. All right, this works.
Alright. Summon Diva. Prince.
Prince to send Dragoons to add Dragoons. And you use the Dragoons Engraved to add Minstrel.
The Minstrel being a 1-up made it really hard to find. Alright.
Yeah, and now you use the Minstrel with the Dragoons from hand. This is where you pull Nibiru if they have it. Or here's an idea. You don't want them to have Mystic Mine just because it's a pain in the butt, right? So pull something that you don't mind them keeping in their hand, like the Zephyr Divine Strike. Looks like it might be a dead card for them. I'd banish that. Now you're going to add Moonlit Glacia. If you didn't have Diva, you'd have to add Lapis Dragon, and then you'd do your combo, so you wouldn't get these extra 2-card pull. Now you're going to make Halqifibrax.
And full combo.
Let's bring out Despot 01. And back when O-Line was a thing, I believe we have 5 waters in our grave right now, right? Just check for me. So back when O-Line was a thing, this is where we'd summon Mulan Glacia. But what we're going to do instead, because he'll clog the field, is we're going to do our full combo. And then when we equip that Halqifibrax that just made it the 6th water, we're going to go back to 5 waters. That's important.
This is new. I think you even only found out about this the other day, right?
Yeah, like 2 days ago. I mean, I just kind of didn't count. And, like, I'm used to equipping the Auroradon. That's how it used to be done. Once I found out there's a level 2 Karakuri tuner, I knew there was a level 2 Karakuri, but it kind of opened my eyes to other options, like what we're doing now. Hey, you didn't mess up the combo this time. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, we also opened the Monster Reborn, so we have access to the level 8 XZ at the end of the combo.
It's true. Four-star.
Watchdog.
Yeah. Now, bring out the level 1. Because we have the Monster Reborn, I figure we may as well throw in another draw. So use the use the beret effect now. Give them, yeah. This way, this one's drawn. So once he goes to the grave, we'll basically that's when we'll try to get 2 berets on board again later. Yeah, so use this. Yeah, bring out a level 1. Now, don't do anything yet. Make the level 9 with the guy who already drew.
The guy who drew is on the left, correct?
Yes. Now reborn.
Level 1?
Yeah, level 1. Now you could reborn the beret in the graveyard.
Oh, he can draw again?
Yeah.
Oh, the burrito.
Burrito, yeah, sorry.
It's alright, just making sure.
Yeah, that's basically the level 8, and now you're going to get a draw off of it too. Now you use the guy in the grave. Wait. Graveyard.
So this is Shiro Kunishi.
Of course. Knew that.
Now
we got to draw
He's the
8.
frog as far as...
Okay, now make your...
Oh, wow.
Now make your 9-star.
I'm just trying to think if this is a scenario we should go into Croc instead for some reason.
No, because you need to put the 3-star on the board.
Whoops. What did I do? Oh. Okay.
I think of them in terms of stars, so I'm sorry if I don't say the names. Just make my life easier.
Alright.
Alright,
Well,
now...
we got the full scale now.
You could make your, that's great. Now you make your Borreload Savage, or either one, doesn't matter, Calamities and Borreload Savage. Now be careful, when you put, yes, equip the Halqifibrax, make sure it's not in a pendulum scale. Okay, now
Good
make
point.
Calamities and make sure it's all the way on the left. Because you are pendulum summoning and you need your Auroradon zones. So
Okay.
now, summon Mulan Glacia. Because we equip the Halqifibrax, we can. Now you can make your Dingirsu and equip from your banish pile as material. Our little Shinigushu, I believe, is not quite how you pronounce it. But
Shinro Kunishi.
Yes, of course. Now, because we're Win More channel, we're going to. Do I want to Crocosaur or do I want? All right, let's Magna Reverse our 9-star monster. Or actually, no, he's not in the grave. Wait.
Do we want a Pendulum summon first while we have our 2 zones open?
Yes. Let's activate our 1 scale and search for our Zefra. Yes,
Should
Oracle.
we grab
Oracle first, yeah.
Oracle?
Yeah, Oracle. Yeah, now place
Activate
your
Zefra.
scales. Yeah.
And pen summon Zefra.
Yes. Doesn't matter which stone. Add pillars. So now basically what you would do is just set the Divine Strike and the pillars, but first, because we have a Magna Reverse and we're going to be full on zones, we might want to just see what's in the grave. Like you could get your Burrito and then, banish a guy from grave to draw on your opponent's turn. Then you draw for turn, you draw again. Because obviously we didn't draw enough cards. So there's that. Or
The Berubes are underneath the Calamities, so if we want to waste the Calamities just to get the Banish on field, we can do that as well.
yeah, that's another option. But I personally...
We also would have seen their hand.
Yeah. So we know their hand is Monster-Born and Mystic Mind. So we could just negate both of them. So I'd set the Divine Strike and the pillars. And I'd pass. You now have 3 negates. And they have 4 cards, but one of them is a counter trap, which can't do anything. I would toss the Ancient Warrior monster. I guess.
And Inishi or Prince?
Neptibus, yeah. So no matter what they draw, like unless they drew Super Poly, there's no way they're breaking this board. Doesn't
I guess
matter
we can
in
make
this
our
context.
guys not affected by Super Poly.
Well, yeah, they could have changed, or they'd have priority actually. But
yeah, if you're playing live, they have priority. If you're playing on YGO Pro and they're holding down the button, they have priority. So they do have priority. They'd have to draw Xyz Encore, or I think I almost broke this board once by I opened Cosmic Cyclone, chain Droplet, and sent a trap card.
Yeah, Droplet with the trap card goes a long way against this because can't chain the trap cards. Granted, I had messed up and I set the wrong trap cards. If I would have set both trap cards, I think that you were doing.
Yeah, you only had one, so I cosmicked not the counter trap. You tried to negate with Savage to keep the counter trap. I dropleted using the spell card and a trap card to negate the Calamities and the Savage, all using priority, and I missed the counter trap, so I lost the game. But you also didn't have both, which normally you would.
So this is basically the ceiling of the deck. You could also have a Beret on board, and I mean, like, it could get better in different versions, but there's pluses and minuses for all of them. Like, the water version to me is still, in my opinion, the best version, just because you get to. It's the only real way to stop Nibiru outside of maybe the Harpy version, where you need to hard draw the Harpy's trap.
Harpy's Featherstorm?
Yeah, or I've even found something with Naturia monsters. They have a spell that stops monster effects for the whole turn. So like an Adamant Spader, that's something you could do. They're very overall not as good, I would say, as the water version.
All right, and I actually like very much that we managed to Moulin Glacier him, and the Moulin Glacier didn't technically leave the field, so we don't lose our battle phase.
Yeah, it's definitely cool stuff. Another cool thing we may be able to have done is, let's say instead of Dingirsu, we made another level 8 who could, like, Safagon? What's his name, Greg?
Sanaphon the Sky Prison. It prevents monsters from being summoned from the graveyard, and it can't be destroyed by card effects, I think?
Yeah. Okay, so let's say we made him and we detached the Moulin Glacier to trigger his effect, and we had drawn into another Zefranyu. You could Pendulum both, make M7, add the Gamma Seal, not Gamma Seal, the Moulin Glacier back to hand, Use it again next turn if we wanted.
All right. So
Granted,
it's super win more.
Yeah, I'm not winning hard enough.
All right. So this is definitely the ceiling of the deck that we found so far.
This deck,
With the
yeah.
most ways to ensure that the combo goes through. As we said, it does take up 6 monster zones, so there is a problem of establishing a negate in advance. There's not much you can do besides looking at their hand, so it was between water and warriors, and I think warriors had more bricks or more issues.
Yeah.
Or what was the big thing? It was that the Atlantean Prince sends for cost, I think was the big thing that works well for this.
Yeah, Prince is nice.
So we actually have 14 builds, including an FTK, so I think we'll go through them briefly. We're probably not going to full combo with all of them, but we'll show what the other
Yeah.
possible end boards are.
Even the generic combo takes too long to do that, so I think it'd be probably better to discuss each one.
All right, so this alternative has a minor zoo engine. Is there
Okay.
anything else worth mentioning in here?
Yeah, there's a Tensu and a little Zoo engine. Zoos could be just summons to go with a normal summon tuner to go into your combo, or obviously for Trident, or potentially you could get towards Zeus. They give you further Tenyi options if you already drew into your Ancient Warrior guy, or if you're already going to normal summon Diva or Prince or something instead. So, yeah, they offer alternative options.
Also, the more plays you can do before you expose that Halqifibrax is your play is another way to play around hand traps.
Yeah, just let
Yeah,
them use their hand
so
trap on all your Zefra cards or something. Draw into your Zefra cards anyway. And, out.
yeah, they can Ash Barrage and then you can full combo, or they can Ogre Barrage and you can full combo. All right, I think that's everything. But here's the Sanafond. If anyone wasn't familiar, number 68, Sanafond the Sky Prison.
Yeah.
Also, you can make Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, but this is a bit redundant. Hope Harbinger negates a spell, also a bit redundant with counter traps. And I think that's all that's worth mentioning about this build, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into another build. This is the first one that uses the Dinosaur Engine.
Yeah, so the Dinosaur Engine's great because Fossil Dig could either get you Oviraptor for 1 card Halqifibrax, or it could get you Miscellaneosaurus for an extender. If you, let's say you do Summon Diva and they Ash you or something, or something like that. And then you also have similar stuff. It's almost the same thing with the Lamia and the Dark Contracts with the Gate. And I have a Copernicus in here as well. So let's say you don't have a normal summon already, you could just use the Gate to summon Copernicus, send Lamia, trigger Lamia, and Halqifibrax. This also has Ego Booster, which is currently the best card, I guess, to protect Halqifibrax or Rorodon from hand traps. Yeah, to protect them. Granted, it's dead most times of the game outside of that, but if that combo does go off, you basically win. So it was worth playing, but I don't know. I like cards that are always somewhat live, so as good as it is, that bothers me a little. This also has some stacks between Foolish Burial and Dragon Shrine, so you could send either the Misk or the Dark Worm, and the Dark Worm could get you a 0 scale, which is great.
So then you'd only need one Zefra search card?
Yeah, you just need Zefrath plus any low scale. It doesn't need to be the Zefra, In fact, it's preferable if it isn't. I've had a duel, I think, against you, where I just wound up summoning like Ghost Ogre and something silly, and summoning him, so I could combo off after you hand trapped a couple of other cards.
Just for clarity, the Zefrath has no restriction on what you can Pendulum summon, but all the Zephyr scales otherwise do. So this would lock you into Zephyrs or Yang Zings. So you can always pen summon the Zephyr Nui if you get the Zefraxi, but if you start with the 0 scale, you can Pendulum summon anything and just summon enough cards to make Halqifibrax and combo off. Alright, we actually have a flex spot in this one.
Yeah, a lot of my extra decks have a flex spot. But another thing I should say is you also have Conductor in this one, and obviously he's a great boss monster. You could add him to the board, or you could just play him going third or second in a way. If turn 3 or going second, you could wind up getting him if you already have Misk. Basically, if you already have 2 of the dinosaur cards, between Mist, Oviraptor, and Fossil Dig. If you're summoning Oviraptor, you may as well add the Conductor to hand.
And you're guaranteed to have 2 dinosaurs in grave because it'll be Oviraptor plus the Jurak Aolo already in the graveyard to summon it.
Yeah, unless they Ash the Mist, in which case...
Alright, well, then we can open Zefra cards and do Zefra combos.
Yes, we have plenty of backup. We got next.
Alright.
Okay, so this one's very similar, but I have a little engine of preparation of rights to either search me Ceravis as a protection for hand traps against my main Link Monster starter combo guys, or I could search Brio, which could get me that low scale that I could pair with Zefrath and my little Necros guy over here, Zefra Saber. And yeah, nothing else is particularly new here. This extra deck is probably the best generic one, just because you could potentially get stalled and then still make Halqifibrax and run it on another turn, or if your opponent does pass, going into access code with your Auroradon is obviously easy. You just need one more monster, and access code X boards pretty easily. So there's that. Another funny thing is in the side deck, I have 2 cards. You could actually not pen summon. You could ritual summon your Ceravis with them if you wanted to. If you're going second, your opponent has 2 cards on the 2 monsters on the board. You could just send the Odd Eyes from extra deck grave, or you could send a Pendulum monster. So technically, you could actually summon Brio in this deck using the Scale Necros card, or if you ran that Odd Eyes card, you could send Zefra Nui, or you could send Zefrath to summon the Ceravis. So, yeah, a lot of interesting
I'm not
there.
familiar with his on-field effect. He negates summons.
Yeah, he's a Solemn Judgment to a summon.
But in hand, he's a negate targeting effects.
Yeah. But when he negates
Right,
the summon one, he bounces himself to hand. So now you have him as a hand trap again.
Okay. And you can ritual summon the Brio, you said, with the Zefra Saber by using the Zefranyu as ritual material?
Exactly.
You can do it with anything, I think, right? Does it have to be the exact? Oh, exactly.
Exactly.
Oh, it says it on Zefra Saber. Exact. But the other interesting thing about that is Oracle of Zefra has an extra effect to shuffle back an extra card on the monster on your opponent's field into the deck, which doesn't target, if you were to ritual summon using the Zefranyu. So that's something that could happen, and Brio can also shuffle back 2 extra deck monsters.
Yeah, so it's not.
We didn't really address Oracle of Zefra. Are there any options that we can use with this?
Definitely the Synchro one is like an old classic, stacking your deck with any monster and drawing it. Definitely could do that if you wind up pen summoning Zefranyu and Zefraxi. Make one a tuner, you make Zefranyu a tuner with Zefraxi, you make Crocosaur, stack the deck, and then draw into whatever monster it is you stacked. So that's always neat.
So this build doesn't really play hand traps, so there's nothing to really like stack. I guess you can get a combo starter for the next turn if all you opened was pen summon of Zefraxi and Zefranyu.
Yeah, you could stack Conductor, I would say, in some kind of scenarios might be relevant. But it's not something that comes up often anyway. I'd rather usually just pen summon Zefranyu and then sit on the 2 counter traps with my usual board. This one I put only double Providence, double Path, just because, not Path, I'm sorry, double Providence, double Oracle, just because they're hard ones for turns. The Zefra Engine is good, but it's not really what we want to see in our opening hand. We want to draw into one Zefrath or a card that will get us Zefrath, and then one of any other scale, which could be one of those cards too, but, you know, I want to see duplicates of them, really.
Okay, let's continue. We have many more builds. This one's interesting.
Yeah, this one's not anything too amazing. It's got more of the Zefra cards, for one. So all the Zefra stuff is here, so if plan A doesn't work with Halq, you're a lot more likely to actually just be able to play Zefra temporarily, which goes a long way. The things that are very different here are the 2 for Elise, the Gizmek, and the triple Magician Souls. So Magician Souls is nice because those hard ones for turn cards you could toss away. Obviously, with release in the deck, he comes out, you normal summon any tuner after you special him. That's very strong and easy to make Hulk. You have him. The Fur Elise and the Gizmek are really there just for an end of combo type of extender where you could get your rank 8 with your Moonlit Glacia should you have started with Diva.
Okay.
The Magna Reverses are there again so that you could use Auroradon and Reborn Hulk to make a new Auroradon if your first one was stopped, and obviously to reborn any of your goal machine monsters, particularly the 9-star Karakuri, because he's or Dingirsu even you could reborn. Yeah.
Okay, I guess he'd have to die first. Not sure how that would happen here, but I guess it's possible.
Yeah, if they actually super poly you when you have Dingirsu, Calamities, and Borreload Savage, he'll go to grave.
Yeah, and they summon the triple guy. All right, it's nice to know that there are options.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's get into another build, because I don't think there's anything else to discuss about this one.
Oh
Yeah,
my
this
god.
is the personal fave, right?
Yeah, one of my favorites for sure, just because I love Infernoids. Obviously, the small Infernoids are easy to just special, and then normal a tuner. We've got we've got the Dino package, which gives us plenty of like three fossil digs and one Oviraptor is 4 1 card bucks, and like we've got the Dark Worm packages in here, and we have plenty of tuners. The Rekindling is not just an extender Monster Reborn type card, but with Decatrons, it's dominant. We also have an epic fallback option if we don't get into our Zefra cards. If we get stuck completely, they Ash this, they DD Crow that, they Nibiru. We've always got Void Banishment. Search, Feast. We got a whole Infernoid board. We got our DD Crows on board, our Monster Negates, our Spell and Trap Negate. It's pretty overwhelming and hard to beat, and Infernoids are pretty good going second in general. I happen to have put most of the go second cards in the side deck for this version, just because I was trying to, I guess, go for ceiling with the going first options. And yeah, but Void Imagination, obviously one of the best cards in the game. If you don't know what it does, you really should look into some Infernoid stuff. It's a great, fun
It's
deck.
essentially Shaddoll Fusion for the Infernoid Fusion monster, and you can mill all 3 copies of your Decatrons, which are all Foolish Burials for Infernoids, and they all have 200 defense and they are fires, so you can Rekindling them and just totally blow out your opponent. Also, what is it? Decatron and Rekindling is full combo because of the Almirage.
Mirage and just Rekindling. So yeah, Rekindling is very,
So
very good in this deck.
same thing for Aolo. Aolo, if you brick the Aolo, you can still full combo with the Rekindling, or Reborn, of course.
Yeah, any kind of so it gives us a lot of alternative options.
This is a warrior build.
Yeah, this one is just kind of more ways to pull a hand trap or see your opponent's hand before you combo off. And what's cool about this one is when you do go into Isolde, you get to add the low scale to pair with Zefrath, which is your
Satellar Knight Zefra Thubin.
yeah,
Okay.
and the equip card you're playing is a legitimate Karakuri card that you could have played regardless. So it's not like we threw a brick or unnecessary bad card into the deck. So that's cool. Um,
This can just extend, like if you draw one of the level 1s, you might just bring one back from the graveyard, I guess.
yeah, or it could summon the level 8 or level 9, like the big ones and the small ones, Any Karakuri,
So it kind of works like the Magnet Reverse is working in the other builds.
pretty much.
Why is there a Veiler in here?
E-Telly for Ghost Ogres, good also. The Velo's in there because I might have had the Selena access code talkers, my last 2 cards, for like a turn. Like if you want to do that combo, always can.
Okay.
I like to put this one. You see how I have a Ghost Bell? I like to have some one of hand traps to draw into that are tuners, so that's why those 2 are in there. You could, let's say, I 1-for-1 Neptibus, he gets stopped or something. I could always normal Veiler or the Ghost Bell or something.
I see this is in here. This I wasn't familiar with as a combo. This is not a deck built for this, but do you want to mention the combo that's used for this? I know we shared this. We shared the idea for this kind of deck with Dilemma Yugioh. If you haven't seen, he's been posting a lot of combo Zefra decks. One of his builds, I think, plays Ojama King and Ojama Knight. Is this something you've tried?
No, but I've seen. He basically was trying to make a version of the deck that I showed him, the Karakuri deck, and one that he was trying was with these Ojamas, and he would basically use them with he'd send Oja Magic to the grave, fuse into Ojama King, and then set either Trap Trick or Necrofusion and fuse into Ojama Knight, and block off all 5 of his opponent's monster zones, which is pretty funny. But there's other stuff in there, like the Droll combo could be done with this deck pretty easily because you draw so many cards. You could draw into Quick Draw Synchron to go with Hyper Librarian, and you could play Where Art Thou even because you're gonna have level 1s on the board throughout this whole combo. Search a Droll just to knock them out. There's ways I'm sure to get into Calamity, the other Calamity. We already have one Calamity. Let's get into the other Calamity. Yeah, so a lot of the times my side decks in these builds that I showed you are just ideas, stuff you could do that ruin your opponent's life in different ways.
We have a few more builds. We'll try and go through them a little quicker.
Yeah.
This is like a personal fave of yours, right?
Yeah, I love this one. There's so many awesome things about it. So Union Carrier is a 1-card Hulk. As you search your monster,
how does that work?
You search any ABC, summon it, you attach the Union Driver, you banish to summon the Torque Tuning Gear attached to the monster, which now you can summon. You make Hulk, and you chain block it with whatever A, B, or C you use. Typically, you're going to use B because you could float into a card from deck. So that'll get you Hulk while being chain blocked. It also you can make any of your machines into Hulk if you use the unauthorized schedule, I believe it's called. Reactivation. There you go. By just equipping the Union Driver and then getting Torque Tuning and bringing it out. This also has the water starters because that's still preferable to. We don't really deal with Nibiru any other way. And I have a frog package in here. So that's pretty cool because if you just do all this drawing, you land on the swap frog and 2 waters, you make a toad, which is nice. And I do have that goofy field spell in there to give me an extra copy of Union Carrier, and also there are times where you could stack either a Gamma Seal or a Swap Frog on your deck while you're doing these draws. So basically before you do the Banish from Grave draw, because that one you don't shuffle like with the Hyper Librarian chaining with Synchro Summon, those you shuffle your deck each time. When you do one that you're not shuffling the deck, like the Banish from Grave draw, you could just play the field spell, put Swap Frog on top, and it's pretty nasty. I also have the Galaxy Soldiers here for ways to ditch the excessive ABC pieces that you draw into, so that you could potentially get into. You could end with Borreload Savage, Calamities, Aurora Dawn, Infinity, Toad, and Buster Dragon. And why not also Conductor? Because it wasn't enough before. So yeah, this is pretty
Sure.
cool.
I was going to mention that might be worth noting. If you open the B, you can search the C just to summon it so it can get the A out of your deck for you. And because Aurora Dawn just takes machines, if you have the extra machine on board, you can just use 3 machines to go into the Aurora Dawn just to clear the board because you do need all 6 zones.
Yeah.
Or you can purposely tribute like the ABC piece for the Aurora Dawn instead of the. I was thinking you can try and keep the 001 on the board in some cases so it can't get DD crowed later or something. If they bell it, maybe you call by a crow but not a bell. If you can try a way to keep it on the board, it can avoid getting hand trapped, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know about all that now.
I'm not sure if it works so well in this particular build.
You'd have to tinker around to see.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the majority of this
so
build.
that's that.
This one is a little old, but it has some cool features like this Machina package, which basically gets you a free special summon of a level 9. It could get you. I used to just add triple Despot 03, and they give me one, but it just clogs the field now. You don't really need these extra zones, so it's
It gets
really
thrown
neither.
into the Auroradon usually, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it's not amazing or anything, but it still has some
What's it
potential
grabbing in
upsides.
here?
Sorry.
What's it searching in here? I don't see
Oh, so what I
three
search
guys
in
for it.
there, yeah, what I search in there is I choose two of the level 2 tuners and the Despot 01. So it's like automatically grab me a tuner for my normal summon because he comes out on a special summon. So
Using
basically,
the Megaformer Radiator combo.
yeah. And then this has Endymions, which is nice because I could, after the whole combo, summon a live Mighty Master or a Mythical Beast Cerberus. Cerberus? That's his name, right?
Jackal King.
Jackal King, yeah, sorry. Summon him. And yeah, there's also Secret Village in this version, which is a little overkill because you already have the counter traps, but Secret Village goes with those spellcasters who come out at the end of the combo. And yeah, that's got this deck covered pretty good.
Alright, you can set rotation and give your opponent the Oracle of Zefra at the end of the combo so that they can't activate a field spell.
Yeah, that one's pretty funny. So you could use your Oracle for your turn or whatever, and then later you could set rotation. Not only can't they use spells right away, if at all ever, they won't be able to book the field spell at any point, so they can't play their own.
Alright. Iron Call's new. We didn't have that in any of the builds before.
Yeah, that's because there's the old version, and I'm not used to using two of the level 9s without needing a reborn. But Iron Call is just a decent extender to summon any of these guys back. Like if you need a non-tuner, if you need a tuner because you want to extend it something further. Like I do have Omega in this version. You could definitely make Omega after doing the full combo with some, some random ways. You know.
I think we forgot to mention that there is going to be a build here that actually can hand loop for 5, right?
Yeah, there's always the regular build. You could just throw in a few extra deck cards and hand loop for 5 to some degree.
I think you just need the Enthroblastnir and the Omega, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright.
So,
Almost there. Zombie build.
Yeah, this one I genuinely did not put that much thought into. It's just basically got so many cards that could send Plague Spreader and then just summon Plague Spreader to go into Hal. And then the zombie support cards are just good. So like all these Eldritch cards you could draw into, but basically it's you've got Shiranui Solitaire, Uni Zombie, Gozuki, this Skull something, Samurai Skull. All of them just set the Plague Spreader, summon it, make Hal. And one of the cool cards in here is Jewels of the Valiant, because you could use it to send a lot of things to grave. It's basically Foolish Burial on both players' turns, assuming you could banish cards on your turn and their turn from the grave. So like this would always work with Misk and the Dino decks that I was running. Always going to work with the Karakuri. It just sends a different attribute. So if I banish my Karakuri Earth monster, I have to send a non-Earth monster to grave. And I like it a lot because it's Foolish Burial's at 1. And it kind of becomes another one that could potentially be used for multiple uses. So like I could send the card to make Zombie World live to the grave. You don't want to use Zombie World right away because Auroradon needs machines. But you could do the whole combo, and then on your opponent's turn, you could go into Zombie World. And there's a lot of cards that just oddly can't play through Zombie World because their cards need to be, like, let's say you're playing against a dinosaur deck. It gets really goofy for them. Stuff like that, like they have to play funny. And yeah.
Alright, and pretty much every draw in this deck should be at least solid, because you could always set the Eldritch traps, which will keep floating after you're done with the combo.
Yeah.
Alright. I don't think there's anything particular going on with these, right?
No, just random zombie cards I was looking at before I finally hit my 60th card.
Alright. This one had interesting features,
like
this Deus Ex
cool.
Crawler.
Yeah, so basically, the Crawler Trap card, you could send it to the grave off of one of your discard outlets. You have 7 in a way, between the Machina cards and the Revolving Switchyard and Terraforming. And then you could banish it and summon the Deus Ex Crawler to a zone that your Aurodon or your Halqifibrax .2. And then when you're doing your combo, or when you have a array on the board during the combo, you could flip him face up. And when your opponent goes, he's skill drain on the board. So you're already going to Calamities them, but you have a skill drain. So that's kind of why I don't use it in my new builds. It's a little unnecessary. But this build's also nice because it brings out level 9 from Deus Ex Crawler, the level 9 from Mega Crunch. So this is the one where we have more of a clear hand loop. The 3 cards are obvious with Minstrel and Glacia. That's 3 cards, but you could also make the Phantom Sky Sortress for a 4th card, and you can make Omega for a 5th card because I have so many Reborns in this. In addition to the Machina Fortress, who's going to be live all the time when you draw into him. So it's like you could always get the level 7 out and then just reborn a level 1 to get the Omega going. So you could definitely pull 5 cards pretty easily with this version.
You mentioned something about this card.
You might sacrifice Calamities to do it. Oh, this card surface is pretty good because like you could just use Minstrel. That's why I have him at 3. You could use Minstrel just with whatever water monster you have. If let's say you have Minstrel and Lapis Dragon, and it's a brick or something, you could use it and then you could reborn the Minstrel, the surface, or it's just a reborn, So it's nice.
All right. And there's just a good amount of Machinas in here to search off of the redeployment. These are the 2 combo ones that get you to the free Metal Crunch.
I also have level 7 free summon from the Gizmac. I've got the level 10 guy because you could actually use the trap from the field, the Machina trap, to summon him, or you could send it to the grave with any of your discard outlets, and you have like a little mini pot of Avarice. The revolving switch yard, those level 10s can come in handy, and you can make Dora. And it's a little rare, and they're not that great. That's why they're only 1-ups for me. But they're still easy to summon. The bullet is nice early, but the other one's good always, kind of. And if you don't get another level 10 on board, he's not going to do much other than just be a body on board. So it's hard to make use of him. Once you can't link, you're not going to synchro with a level 10 monster. So it's not amazing, but it's just another cool variety of this deck I wanted to share.
Okay, just looking. Yeah, that's about everything for this deck I have in my notes. We got 3 more.
All right. This one is funny. This one is just pumped up the level 7s that are relevant. So, like, I've got ideas just to do my regular combo, but also make odd eyes, so that I could pop it with my own Procosaur, and then bring out the odd eyes with no material so that I could rank it into Caliyuga. Caliyuga is kind of an auto win. So that's the gist of this one. Full combo plus Caliyuga at the end.
It is super duper 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 win more.
Yeah, I know. I like to win
but
more.
But I don't think you can lose if you resolve it.
Yeah, because if they set back row, you just pop them. Anything they summon has no effects. Yeah, it's pretty good. I definitely think that I could make a better version of this, and it would probably be my best version just because Caliyuga is just that good.
So. This is in here. We haven't addressed this. We've been normally playing 2 Cult Wings, but there used to be some combos that use this guy, right?
Yeah, I think
Aeroswim, the Penguin.
I haven't done it in a while, but pretty sure when you do use 2 Despot 02s, you don't need to use Cult Wing. You might be able. Yeah, sorry, 01s. You don't need to use Cult Wing. You might be able to just use Aeroswim and have more room on the board throughout the combo. I'm not 100% on that. I'd have to rerun the test hands and stuff.
It's been a while, so this was an old build just worth showing for the Caliyuga.
Anything else
that exists? Not.
The side deck was just because I was looking for another way to go into Caliyuga. So,
Oh, yeah, you can Utopia double.
Utopia double to get double or nothing to make Utopia Kaiser. Bring out Big Eye to then go into. That's a lot of extra deck space, and you can't draw the double or nothing. And, like, it's actually easier for me to make 7 than a rank 4 with the pieces that are at hand. So yeah, there's that.
All right. Two more. Tenyi build.
Right. Over here we've got warrior stuff, water stuff, and Tenyi stuff. So the warrior stuff we saw already, the water stuff we saw already, the Tenyi stuff that's new. So the cool part about these Tenyi cards is the 9 monsters are all relevant, and the spells. So any spell with any Tenyi monster could net you Halq, sort of.
Because it'll search.
You could also, what I like to do is it's an easy way to get a Water in the Grave for Deep Sea Aria to get you your normal summon of Diva. Yeah, and then also these Tenyi guys are live. One acts as a tuner, which is good. One acts as a way to get Deep Sea Aria, which is good. And one acts as a bounce, which is good. So they all have those relevance, but they're all more starters. This also has just a random tuner extender and quick launch. Cool also is you could use the shooter's bounce when you have tokens on the board. Bounce is live. So like if he goes to grave during your combo, tokens on the board, you could just bounce something. It's kind of cool.
Or it's just a good discard during the end phase when
summon
you probably have too many
have
cards in your hand.
Vanillas, so. But the bounce with being live is relevant and comes up actually. Anytime you make a word, I'm going second, something like that, you know.
All right, so this is the last build. It's not a proper build because this was made for obviously back when we had Olion, but the concept is still there, and we figured we should share all the work on the build. This is the FTK build. How does it work?
Basically, you do your combo. The combo's a bit different, obviously, if you look at the extra deck. So the idea is you want to try to get as many cards on board as possible, physical cards, because you're going to go into Blaze Fenix with Fusion Gate. You're going to use a machine and this level 4 tuner, which I guess I'm not sure it would work with the current combo, but it probably would. Not tuner, I called them a tuner, I meant synchro. Anyway, you wind up bringing back your 001 with your, after you make your Karakuris, with your Draco Sack back, and you also, the guy to the right, got his name, Dugaris?
Quandax?
No, to the right.
Oh, Dugaris the Timeless.
He's also, oh no, he's not a pyro, but he winds up detaching the two guys and drawing cards. Forgot the exact combo, but you basically wind up getting into Blaze Fenix, trying to deal 20 or like 2,700 each hit with the 3 Blaze Phoenixes, because you keep losing a machine each time you fuse. But you wind up with extra machines in hand and everything. And it doesn't need all those Karakuris in the deck. As you could see, I think I only have 2 Watchdogs in here. So I don't remember the exact combo, but it wasn't that hard to FTK with it. And
I think I recall you would actually make Nates and at some point in the combo and summon the Planet Pathfinder out of your hand.
Yeah, because you're going to need to, at the end of the combo, you want to summon either Planet Pathfinder or Summoner Monk so that you can get to Planet Pathfinder, assuming you don't already have your Fusion Gate. So, like, I had a few little tricks to try to make sure that I get this combo to definitely go off. Also, you get Planet Pathfinder with the with your Machina guy. You could add it. Machina Gear Frame. Add it. So there's a lot of little tricks, but you don't really want to do that route unless you could get a tuner on board. Outside of that, which maybe if I played Quick Draw instead of Jet now, I would do it. But getting the right number of cards on board is a little difficult, but if you could get into that Black Garden, it should be no problem at all. There's a lot of field spell searchers, in this deck. So, yeah.
So obviously this combo was not optimized for the current format because it's obviously full of limited and or forbidden cards, but it is something that if you're interested in trying to one-up us and try and make a new FTK, Blaze Fenix is an option and something that should be considered.
This could definitely be updated into, like, I haven't looked too much, but I'm 90% sure you could update this into one that works for the current format. You just gotta do the combo slightly differently, and Yeah, it even might sort of have less bricks in the deck. It looks like, in a way, with the Karakuris.
There's also like a Nemesis Pyro that can like shuffle back the Blaze Phoenix and get an extra Blaze Phoenix, I guess.
Yeah, I was using the Nemesis Pyro Monster. I think his name is, and I would use him after I use one Blaze Phoenix to put the first Blaze Phoenix that was banished for the second Blaze Phoenix back in the extra deck. I could Blaze Phoenix and burn 4 times if I had to. So like if I'm only doing, an average of 2100, that'll work now. So it's kind of funny because you do banish cards in the combo at points, like miscellaneous gets banished, stuff like that. So he should be live usually. And another thing is the DDRs could also reborn Blaze Phoenixes. So if you can't really get the 2700 3 times, you might have 4 or 5 tries. So deal your
Right.
1800, 5 times and you win.
All right, I think we covered every possible thing we could cover with this Karakuri combo deck. I hope everyone enjoys fiddling around with it. Maybe you just want to play the base combo and load up the main deck in whatever way you choose, but hopefully you've seen everything we've tried. All right, so that's going to wrap this up for this How to Play, which is probably different from any other How to Play you've ever seen since there was just so much to show. We didn't actually go playing the matches with the deck. Hopefully you learned something from it. If you want to see the deck in action, Dilemma Yugioh has been playing a Zefra combo deck, more along the lines of our first build, something like this. I don't think he's on quite everything we're on, but he has played it quite a bit, so you can see him doing some stuff successfully on DB Ranked. All right, and that'll be it. See you all next time for our next How to Play.